It's Parsha time. 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 One more time. Excited. One of our last Parsha videos. It's Parsha time. It's Parsha time. It's Parsha time. Die Parsha von die Woche is Parshas Shelach. Parshas Shelach. Parshas Shelach. Die Parsha von die Woche is Parshas Shelach. Parshas Shelach is the Parsha von die Woche. The Parsha of this week is Parshas Shelach. Parshas Shelach. Parshas Shelach. The Parsha of the week is Parshas Shelach. Parshas Shelach is the Parsha of the week. And in this week's Parsha, so many things happen that I'm going to talk about only about a story in this video that happened. So, the Yidden were getting ready to go enter Eretz Canaan, because that was going to be the land that would become Eretz Yisrael. Remember, why did Hashem take us out of Mitzrayim? Did you say to bring us to Eretz Yisrael? You're right. And now it was time. But all of a sudden, the Yidden were a little scared and unsure, because it was different. It was new. The whole time they were in the Midbar, they knew what to expect. And they got man, and they learned Torah day and night. And it was just different. So they said, Moshe, can we please send spies to Eretz Yisrael? And they'll come back and tell us what the land is like? So Moshe asked Hashem, and Hashem said, okay, I don't like this, because you should trust me, but okay, you can send spies. And he picked one person for each shevet. And two of them I want you to remember, Kalev and Yehoshua. Kalev and Yehoshua were separate from the other 10. He said 12. So we have 10, and then 2 who were going to be our heroes. We're going to remember them. And Moshe said to the spies, when you go, I want you to tell me, I want to know more about the land. Like, are they strong? Are they weak? Here's how you should know if they're strong or weak. Are they in cities that have gates, or are the cities open? If the cities are in gates, then we know they're afraid of us. If the cities are not in gates, we know they're not afraid of us. I want you to tell me more. Can you bring me fruit from the land? I'm so curious. We want to know. We want to know how special the land is. So, out set 12 Meraglim. A Meragel is a spy. 12 Meraglim, the spies. And let's see what happened. And the Meraglim were like, we don't really want to go to Eretz Yisrael, because we want to still get the water that came from Miriam's stone, the Be'er Shel Miriam special, and we want to be with the clouds, and we want to keep getting them on Eretz Yisrael. Going there, that's so different. We don't know. We just never had this experience. We don't want to try something new. So they were looking for ways to find proof that Eretz Yisrael is scary, when really everything they saw showed how special Eretz Yisrael was. So you see, they stopped off in Hebron, and in Hebron, they saw giants, and they felt like little tiny bugs. You know, sometimes you go out in an airplane, and everything from high up, or you go in a high in a building, you look and everything looks really tiny. They felt like that. But Hashem did that so that nobody should pay attention to them. But they felt that that's a reason. Oh, we're scared. And then they came up with a plan. We have to think of a way to convince Bnei Israel that we don't want to go into Eretz Yisrael. But remember, Morah spoke about Kalev and Yehoshua. Those two, they kept separate. They weren't looking to find ideas and reasons to convince Bnei Israel that they don't want to go into Eretz Yisrael. Like, no. If Hashem said, if Moshe says, we believe completely that this is the right place, and the land is special, and everything is showing just proves how special the land is. But Kalev was afraid. Kalev didn't want to get into the not such great ideas of the other Meraglim. So they were in Hebron, and in Hebron there's a special place called Ma'aras HaMachpelah. It didn't look like it looks today, but he went into Ma'aras HaMachpelah and he davened in Ma'aras HaMachpelah. You know why? Because over there are the Avos, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and Adam, and Chava, and Sarah, Rivka, and Leah. And he said, please help me. I don't want to become like the rest of the Meraglim. Yehoshua, he didn't go daven. He didn't feel like his Yetzer Hara was going to catch him. But Kalev felt, I need to go and daven. I need to be sure that I'm not going to get in trouble. That I'm going to do the right thing and trust Moshe and trust in Hashem. Then, after looking through the whole land, the spies, the Meraglim, they were ready to go back. And they decided to pick some fruit. Moshe said, bring back fruit that was going to show how weird Eretz Yisrael was. But Kalev and Yeshua said, we're not joining this because we don't want to convince Bnei Yisrael that it's weird. We want them to know that the land is special. So the Meraglim chose grapes that were huge. This picture isn't even so good because they couldn't even bring home a whole bunch of grapes. They were able to pick up one that was so huge. And the other one had a hard time carrying the pomegranate. And the fig, it was so hard. They needed 10 people to carry all these things. But Kalev and Yeshua said, we're not joining because we're going to do the right thing. We are trusting in Hashem because the land is special. We're not afraid. You see, the Meraglim, they were afraid of something they didn't know. And they knew about the Be'er Shel Miriam, the rock of Miriam, who's the sister of Moshe, who in her honor there was water, and the mun that came in Moshe's honor, and the clouds. That's what they knew, and it made them feel comfortable. They were a little afraid to go into Eretz Yisrael, a lot afraid. But Kalev and Yeshua, they were teaching us, don't need to be afraid. But again, this is what happened. And they came back and the Yidden said, we want to hear. We want to hear about the land. And the 10 Meraglim, you see in the top, you see 2 Meraglim not joining. That's Kalev and Yeshua. The other 10 were like, the land is terrible. It eats up its people. And whoever's left is huge. And the fruit is weird. It's so giant. And they made people cry who said, we don't want to go into this land. But Kalev came and he said, no, I want you to know, no, this land is special. And it's amazing. And we can conquer the nations that live there. And we will. We can and we will. But the Yidden weren't sure who to believe because they too were afraid. They were afraid to try something new. And that night, the Yidden did so much crying because they were afraid. They forgot, who do we have to trust? Trust in Hashem and you'll surely know. Trust in Hashem and you'll surely know that it's all going to be okay. And they forgot that they have to trust in Hashem and trust in Moshe Rabbeinu. But Kalev was the one who was showing. And because of that, and Yeshua also, but Kalev especially, Yeshua didn't join, and Yeshua tried to get all of Bnei Yisrael, but Kalev tried even harder. And both Kalev and Yeshua were rewarded. After Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, it was Yeshua that took Bnei Yisrael into Eretz Yisrael. And Kalev, he lived a long, long life. The Yidden didn't get to go into Eretz Yisrael with Moshe Rabbeinu. They got to stay in the Midbar. But that's what he said, Yeshua got rewarded. And he became the next leader to take Bnei Yisrael in. And Kalev, he became the Nasi of Shevet Yehuda. Because he came from Shevet Yehuda and he got to live a long, long life. Remember, Morris said that he davened in Ma'aras Machpelah? So he got the chelik where Ma'aras Machpelah is in Hebron. Hebron became his. When he got into Eretz Yisrael and they divided the land, That was for Kalev, because he was rewarded for going and davening and asking for help, that he shouldn't fall into the not good ideas of the other Meraglim. And that's the end for the Parsha right now.